All right, so today we're going to be builders. We are diving into the world of Python frameworks. And by the end of this, you'll have a guide to creating pretty much anything you can dream up in the digital world.
You ever just stop and think about the apps you use every single day? You know, the one you order your lunch with, the one that streams your music. What's actually going on under the hood? How do developers turn a simple idea into something that actually works? Well, for a huge, and I mean huge, number of them, that whole journey starts in the same place, with one powerful but surprisingly simple programming language, Python.
Okay, so let's get into it. Before we can even talk about all the fancy tools, we have to understand the core material. Why is Python this universal language for pretty much all of modern development?
Well, you really can't argue with the numbers. It's always at the top of lists like the TOB index for most popular programming languages, and it's everywhere, powering websites, crunching data for scientists, even driving artificial intelligence. So what's the secret sauce? Well, a huge part of it is that the code itself is just easy to read. And on top of that, it's supported by this massive global community that has built an endless supply of toolkits to help you get started.
Okay, so let's get back to our builder idea. Before we can even think about building a skyscraper, we have to understand our most basic raw materials. It's time to open up our very first toolbox.
No, really, stick with me on this one. Programming is a lot like building a house. You can't start with the fancy stuff. You have to begin with the fundamentals, the absolute raw materials of your entire project.
So what are our raw materials? Well, at the most basic level, you've got variables. Think of a variable as just a single brick. It's a container for one piece of information. Absolutely essential, but you can't build a house with just one brick. Then you've got loops. These are kind of like a simple machine that lets you lay a whole row of those bricks automatically. They give you a little bit of efficiency, but we're still operating at a pretty small scale. And here's where we hit a wall. Literally. You could build a massive skyscraper, one brick, one variable, one loop at a time, but it would take forever. You'd make a ton of mistakes, and honestly, it's just a risky way to build. There's got to be a better way, right? But of course there is. And that's where frameworks come in. These are the power tools. This is how you start building smarter, not just harder. I mean, imagine this. What if instead of showing up to the job site with just a pile of bricks, you had detailed blueprints, or power tools like a nail gun or even a crane? Or what if you even had whole sections of the wall already built for you ready to go? Well, that is a framework. It's a toolkit of pre-written code that gives you structure and handles all those common, boring, or difficult tasks so you don't have to. It's the scaffolding for your project, letting you focus on what makes your building unique, not on how to pour the foundation every single time.
And look, the difference is night and day. On the left, when you're coding from scratch, you're laying one brick at a time. But on the right, with a framework, you get these powerful pre-built solutions for the hard stuff. Things like routing, that's just figuring out where a user needs to go, security to keep everything safe, and tools to talk to your database. You're not laying individual bricks anymore, you're operating the crane and working off a master plan.
Okay, so this brings us to a really important point. Just like with any construction project, you have to start by choosing the right tool for the job. You wouldn't bring a sledgehammer to hang a picture, right? You've got to ask yourself, what am I actually trying to build here? Is it a massive, feature-packed skyscraper that needs to be super reliable? Or is it more like a simple garden shed that just needs to be built fast? The answer to that question changes everything. So if you're building that huge, complex web app, with user logins, a big backend, you're going to reach for Django. Think of it as your all-inclusive, ready-to-build skyscraper kit. But for a quick prototype or a simple API, you'd grab Flask. That's more like a flexible toolbox where you just pick and choose the exact tools you need for your garden shed. And then, if all you care about is pure raw speed for a minimalist API, you grab Falcon. That's a specialized, high-performance power tool. And this specialization, it has a real-world impact. It's not just talk. When you're just looking at raw speed for simple requests, Falcon is just in another league. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean one is better than the other, not at all. It just means they were built for completely different jobs. I mean, look at that number. We're talking 2 to 5 times faster. For certain jobs, when every single millisecond counts, that is a massive, massive difference. That's the difference between winning the race and getting left in the dust. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's actually pretty simple. The right tool wins. There's a quote from the source material at Freework that just nails it. Choosing a framework is never about picking the best in a vacuum. It all depends on the use case.
The takeaway here is that there's no such thing as the best framework. There's only the best framework for what you're trying to do.
Okay, so let's tie this all together with our builder's summary. Python gives you the raw materials, your bricks and wood. Frameworks give you the power tools and the blueprints. Django is your all-in-one kit for building that robust skyscraper. Flask is your flexible toolbox for whipping up a custom garden shed. And Falcon? Falcon is your specialized high-performance engine for building a high-speed racetrack.
So, there you have it. You've got the raw materials, you've got the power tools, you've got the blueprints. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?